Hey everyone, and welcome. You know, sometimes the difference between good English and great, natural-sounding English comes down to a few little words. Today, we're going to crack a secret code, the code of quantifiers. These are the words that describe amounts, and trust me, getting them right is a total game changer for your fluency. So, to kick things off, let's start with the classic puzzle that gets almost everyone. Okay, here's the puzzle. You've definitely seen this sign at the grocery store, right? 10 items or less. Or is it 10 items or fewer? Which one's actually correct? This is a classic, and I'm telling you, even native speakers argue about this one. Take a second. What's your gut feeling?
Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging. By the time we're done here, you'll know the answer for sure, but more importantly, you'll understand why. You'll get the one simple key that unlocks how to use pretty much all of these quantity words in English.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll cover the basics of what these things even are. Then, we'll get to the master key, countable versus uncountable nouns. After that, we'll tackle large amounts, small amounts, and wrap it all up by finally solving that supermarket puzzle. It's going to be quick, clear, and super useful. All right, let's jump right into part one. First things first, what in the world are quantifiers anyway? So it's actually pretty simple. A quantifier is just a word you pop in front of a noun to talk about the amount or quantity. You know, they're the words that answer the questions how much or how many. So instead of a specific number, like 5 friends, you might say, I have many friends. It gives you a general idea without getting into the nitty-gritty numbers. Okay, pay close attention, because we're at the most important part of this whole thing. Seriously, if you get this next idea, you've basically cracked 90% of the quantifier code. This right here is the master key. And here it is, the big secret. It all comes down to the difference between countable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns are easy, right? They're things you can count one by one. 1 apple, 2 apples, 1 friend, 100 friends. Simple. They have a plural form. But then you've got uncountable nouns. These are things you just can't count as individual units. Think about stuff like milk, or a concept like information, or even money and time. You wouldn't say 1 milk or 2 informations, right? It just sounds weird. They don't have a plural. And this difference is everything when it comes to picking the right quantifier. All right, time to put that master key into action. Let's start by looking at how we talk about large amounts of things, using words like much, many, and a lot of. This is a big one that trips a lot of people up. Okay, this table breaks it down perfectly. Here's the deal. Many goes with countable nouns. Think many chairs, many ideas. Much, on the other hand, is for the uncountable stuff. Much traffic, much water. Now here's a pro tip. Both much and many are most often used in questions and negative sentences. If you're just making a positive statement, the easiest, safest bet is a lot of or lots of. The great thing is, a lot of works for everything. Countable, uncountable. It doesn't care. It's a lifesaver. Let's see this in action. It makes it so much clearer. For a positive sentence, I have a lot of work to do. See? Easy. But when we go negative, that's when the rule kicks in. He doesn't have many friends, because friends are countable. And she doesn't have much time. Time is uncountable. The exact same logic works for questions. How many people? How much sugar? It's a really consistent pattern once you get the hang of it. Okay, quick pop quiz for you. How would you fill this in? How blank information did you find? Are we going to use many or much? Just think back to our master key. Can you count information? It's much. Of course it is. You can't have 1 information, 2 informations. So it's uncountable, which means we have to use much. See? You're already getting this. You're a natural. All right, let's keep the momentum going. Next up are 2 super common words, some and any. These are what we use when the amount isn't specific. It's just kind of vague. The rule here is usually pretty simple. Generally, you use some for positive sentences, like I need some apples, and you use any for negative sentences and for most questions, like I don't have any milk. But there's always a but, isn't there? There's a really important exception for some. If you're asking a question that's actually an offer or a request, you use some. Think about it. Would you like some coffee? It sounds way more polite and natural than would you like any coffee? That's because you're expecting them to say yes.
Okay, now we're getting to my absolute favorite part. This is where English gets really subtle and cool. We're going to look at how a single letter, just the letter A, can totally flip the entire feeling of a sentence from positive to negative. This is advanced stuff.
Check this out. It's amazing. When you say a few or a little, it has a positive vibe. It means you have a small amount, but hey, it's enough. You're good. I have a few friends sounds like, yeah, I've got my crew. I'm happy. But then you take away the A and the whole feeling changes. Few and little without the A are negative. It means you have a small amount and it's not enough. I have few friends suddenly sounds really sad, like you're lonely. I have little time sounds stressed, right? That little A makes all the difference. It's the difference between some and almost none.
Okay, let's put it to the test. Check out this sentence. He has blank friends, so he often feels lonely. What's the right word here? A few or just few? Think about the emotion.
You got it, it's few. The big clue is right there in the sentence, so he often feels lonely. That tells you everything you need to know. We need the word with a negative, not enough feeling, and that's few.
Okay, we are in the home stretch now. It's time to go back and solve that supermarket puzzle from the beginning, and then we'll wrap this all up with a neat little summary.
And here is the big reveal, the answer to our supermarket sign. The rule is simple. Fewer is for countable things. Less is for uncountable things. You can count items, right? 1 item, 2 items. So the technically correct sign should say 10 items or fewer. Now let's be real, you're going to see 10 items or less all the time, everywhere. It's become super common in everyday speech. But if you want to be 100% grammatically correct, especially in writing, fewer is your word for things you can count. And hey, here's a little bonus for you to make your English sound even more advanced. You can actually add another quantifier to make your comparisons stronger. If you want to show a really big difference, you can say something is much bigger or a lot more expensive. And for a small difference, just use a bit or slightly. It's a simple trick that adds a ton of nuance. So let's put it all together. This right here, this is your ultimate cheat sheet. Everything we've talked about is on this one slide. You've got your countable nouns on the left and your uncountable ones on the right. And you can see that beautiful pattern, right? Many and few on the countable side, much and little on the uncountable side. It really does all come back to that one single master key.
And there you have it. The code has been cracked. You are now a master of English quantifiers. So the only question left is, how many opportunities will you have to use this new skill correctly? And I think you know the answer. A lot of them. Thanks so much for joining me.